if you want to become a developer, I can tell you that if you put in the work in 12 weeks with the PDM group, you can turn your entire career in a very, very much more positive direction. Hi, I'm Daniel. I work as a product specialist for a customer communications management company where we handle sort of the technical details where mail pieces come through and get processed and go out, and we manage shipping and so forth. But for a number of years I've been doing that, and started using coding in my job, years and years ago. And for many years I've been struggling and on my own kind of writing some scripts and little tiny programs to get things done, and been enjoying I've enjoyed writing tiny programs for as long as I can remember, but I never really felt like a developer. I never really felt like I got it, like I was part of that crew, part of that group of developers that, you know, that people can say, well, that guy's a developer. I was always afraid to show my code to other people. You know, I was always excited that it worked, and then you get you get to celebrate sort of alone, and wasn't quite as fun. I started looking into some Python stuff. I got interested in some of the ways that Python deals with some data, and saw a few articles, and I thought, oh, I really need to use that. And so I kind of played around with it a little bit, and I really liked it. I really just like the way it feels and looks, and the code language itself is sort of, it's pretty and it's nice, and it just made me interested in some way. And so I started playing around with Python, and the more I got into it, the more I realized I kind of need to learn. And so, like everyone, you know, I went on YouTube and, you know, found a video over here and there, and how do you do this, and, you know, what's the best way for that. And I finally got to the place where somehow I found, I don't know if it was on the podcast or somewhere, but I found PDM, and I started watching Bob and Julian and team, and just the way that they're describing their, you know, their approach. First off, their tutorial videos are, you know, just incredible little things that you can find, little snippets of like code that they show. It's not quite like what I'd seen on other videos, but I started hearing about this Pybites developer mindset program, and I thought, man, I really should check that out. And so I did. I looked into it, and I was really hesitant at first. You know, it's a big commitment, 12 weeks of intense. You know, you're gonna write these apps, and you're gonna have all this stuff done. It was a big commitment, and I started thinking about it, and I went back and forth, and I finally just took the plunge in. And I'm telling you guys, it was absolutely worth it, 100% worth it. You know, and PDM, they're gonna give you a coach that's gonna be basically by your side for the whole 12 weeks. The thing that I found is whenever I was watching the YouTube tutorials or reading some, you know, how to do something in Python, I always found that there was a place where you could go so far, and then you would feel like I'm not getting the same results, or I don't understand why that's connecting and doing the way that it's doing. But with PDM, it's not quite like that. And with PDM, you're checking in with your coach, and you're saying, hey coach, here's what I want to do. And you're constantly getting feedback. Every time that you have a question, you get stuck on something, you can reach out to your coach through Slack, just hit a message up, and within a few minutes sometimes, I mean, I'm not going to commit to everyone, but way faster than you could just think of the answer on your own. You just reach out to your coach and say, I'm stuck. Coach will respond back. You could get unstuck quickly, move right along, and keep going with your project, which is invaluable. I really cannot overemphasize the fact that was so helpful, to feel like you never really got stuck for very long. The program kind of helps you to keep going. And so the 12 weeks portion of it really kind of felt a little bit daunting, but as you realize, 12 weeks, you can get a lot done if you have somebody there who's helping you to move through the process. You're still doing it all on your own. You're still doing everything that you can, like coding it all by yourself. So you do have the ownership of the project, but you have somebody there who's like a watch out to help you kind of navigate through this thing. And it is unbelievably helpful to say I didn't get stuck for very long on any particular thing. I kept moving along. So hands down, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. And I highly recommend it. When I first started, the first day, I was very, very nervous, and at the end, I mean, I'm laughing and joking and cutting up with, my coach and, with the team, and I feel comfortable with the Slack group, and I feel like I could ask these guys anything, and they would kindly and helpfully reach back out and say, here's what I would recommend, here's what I've done, here's a link to something that you might find helpful. It's very, very welcoming, a very open hearted community, and it is true that you come for the code. You come to say, I want to be a better Python developer. But when you leave, you don't just take away code knowledge. I mean, the whole point of the thing is to take away the developer mindset, and the mindset includes code, but it's so much more than just code. You're going to walk away feeling like a developer, thinking like a developer, using tools that developers use every day. You're going to be a part of the community of developers. And so if you're on the fence right now and you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't know for sure. If you want to be a true developer, you want to feel that developer mindset, Pybites developer mindset is the way to go. This is the best course I've found, and the people and the community are wonderful. The materials are great. The coaching is excellent. It is just really, really worth doing. It's worth your time. It's worth your investment. And if you want to become a developer, I can tell you that if you put in the work and 12 weeks with the PDM group, you can turn your entire career in a very, very much more positive direction. Oh, what did I get out of Pybites development mindset? What did I get out of PDM? It's difficult to quantify what I took away from the course. Confidence, a much better sense of direction. I think I feel more like I belong in the group. I feel like I belong in the team of developers that have come through and kind of led the way here. I feel like more a part of that community. If I had decided not to do PDM and instead just continued along, I don't know I don't know where I'd be, but I have a feeling that I would still be in front of my computer late nights watching somebody else try to explain some concept that was sort of like the one that I wanted, and then feeling frustrated that I'd ever found anything that was exactly the thing that was going to get me through the particular problem that I had. I think I'd still feel frustrated, and I think I'd still be stuck. If I hadn't joined PDM, I think I'd still just be stuck. I think that's just the best way to say it. I don't feel stuck. There's a lot of things that I feel like are opened to me now that weren't open before. Opportunities and projects and just thought concepts that weren't even part of my world before are now there. So I've grown bigger as a person inside, and I feel like I have a lot more confidence in the developer mind, in the developer world, and in the developer mindset generally. I have a lot more confidence that I am a true developer in the sense of the word, that is like, I belong. I'm there. If I had to give you one piece of advice, I would say, don't just imagine that one day you're going to magically show up at your Python goals, that you're going to arrive just because you've watched enough YouTube videos, or you've hit enough tutorials, or you've read enough or listened to enough blogs, or whatever it is that you're doing. Don't just pretend that we don't all need help. None of us wrote the code for, we're not the developers for the language. There's a whole community of people who've been out doing this for a very, very long time, who have more answers more quickly. It would be an unwise use of your time to try to push through it on your own. You can definitely get more done if you get some help on the front side. Don't think that sitting at your desk watching these YouTube videos is going to make you better as a developer on its own. You really kind of need someone to help you see what it is that you are missing and push forward. And it does take some bravery. It takes a little bit of, opening up to someone else and to show them here's what I've built, here's what I've tried, here's the places where I've struggled. But when you do, it's true in code, it's true in everything else. When you do open up and let somebody in and let somebody help you, you find that you can get a lot further, a lot faster. And the people that I trusted with my developer career have been PDM, and I could not be happier. Great guys, great team, solid focus. And now at the end of my Pybites developer mindset, not only do I feel like a developer, I'm actually developing things at my work. I've worked with management, and now I'm talking to them about how to do certain things that I want to do. And so I'm kind of changing my own career as we have moved forward with just changing my mindset. So again, I can't overemphasize enough. If you're on the fence on this, jump off that fence. It's worth it. So I hope you do, and I hope to see you in the Slack group. Thanks.